Today we're going to be learning about writing equations in point-slope form. This is basically just another way to write a linear equation. We've already done the standard form, we've already done the slope-intercept form, now we're going to be learning about the point-slope form. For the point-slope form, this is the main formula that you're going to have to know. Y minus y1 is equal to m times the quantity of x minus x1. Now I need you all to write this down because this is important. Now, what are the variables? So we have x1 and y1. These are basically what the points are on the line. They will give you, for example, like 3, 6. In this case, 3 is x1 and 6 is y1. For m is the slope, like we're used to seeing, especially in slope-intercept form. On the next slide, I'm going to show you how to input information into the point-slope form. So, we are giving some information. We are given slope, and we are given a point. What we are supposed to do, we are supposed to write an equation in point-slope form. Now, remember, look back in your notes. What is the formula for point-slope form? So it's y minus y1 is equal to m times the quantity of x minus x1. Now, how do you write the equation? So it's over here. So you basically all that you have to do, substitute the values of m and x1 and y1 into the equation. So we have our m of 1/3, and we have our point 3, 2. 3 is our x1, 2 is our y1. So all that we have to do is basically just plug it in. So we still keep y as the same, so y minus 2, just plug it in, is equal to 1/3, just plug it in, x, keep x the same, minus 3. So this right here, y minus 2 is equal to 1/3 times the quantity of x minus 3. This is writing the equation in point-slope form. They're always going to give you, they're either going to give you the slope and a point, or they might give you 2 points. If they give you 2 points, then you have to find the slope, then pick one of the points and just use it as the x1 and the y1. So remember, it's y minus y1 is equal to m times the quantity of x minus x1. So now we have our point-slope form equation. This is the same equation from the previous slide. Now all that I want to do is graph it. I have the 3 steps that you're supposed to do. Step 1, you find what the point is. Remember, in the equation, it starts off with a negative. So the point is not a -2 or a -3. Remember, it's x, y. So in the x's, we have the x's. So our x is 3, and our y is 2. So this is what our point is. Remember, we got it from our x1, and this is our y1. So the second point, plot this point on the graph. Plot the point 3, 2 on the graph. So we go over 3, up 2, plot that point there. Good. Now, third step, from that point, 3, 2, use the slope to find another point. So remember our slope. Our slope is 1/3. Now if we have 1/3 and we're talking about slope, remember the top or the numerator is rise over run. So the 1 from this point means you rise 1, you go up 1, and run means you go to the right 3. So 1, 2, 3. You draw another point there. So now we have our 2 points. So all we would have to do is to draw a straight line from there. So this is the graph of y minus 2 is equal to 1/3 times the quantity of x minus 3. So find the point, plot the point, from that point use the slope to find another point. So now what we're going to do, we are given point slope form, and what we have to do is to convert the point slope form into standard form. Remember what standard form is. We have our x's first, followed by our y's is equal to c, what our constant is. So what I'm going to do, I will do the first one, and then you're going to pause the video and you're going to attempt the second one. So the first one, we have a fraction here of 2/3. I don't really like working with fractions, so what I can do to get this 2/3 out of the way, if I multiply 2/3 by 3, if I multiply that by 3, two-thirds times 3 is the same as, so if we do 2/3 times 3, which is 3 over 1, that is the same as 6 divided by 3, which is the same as 2. So in this case, I could rewrite this equation as 2, open parentheses, x plus 7. But since I multiplied by 3 on the right side, I also have to multiply by 3 on the right side. Sorry, since I multiply by 3 on the right side, I have to multiply by 3 on the left side. So if I multiply by 3 on the left side, 3 times y is 3y, and 3 times 4 is 12. Now what I can do is the distributive property on the right side. So I'd multiply 2x and 2 times x and 2 times 7. So I'm just going to rewrite everything. So I have 3y plus 12 is equal to 2x plus 14. Now, remember, I need my x's on the left side, so I need to move this 2x over to the left. So by doing that, I will subtract 2x from both sides. So I'll cancel this out. So the x's should be first. So I'll have a minus 2x plus 3y plus 12 is equal to 14. Now I have my x's, I have my y's. Now I need my constants all to be on the right side. So I'll subtract 12 on both sides. So when I rewrite it, I'll have a minus 2x plus 3y is equal to 2. And this is my final answer in standard form. I have my x's, my y's, followed by my constants. X, y, constant. Now what I want you to do is to pause the video, try this one over here off to the right, and then pause the video when you're ready to see what I've done. Okay, so I made this one a little bit easier for you because I didn't want you to have to deal with fractions on when you're taking notes. So remember the very first thing, you have to do the distributive property. So when you rewrite this equation, we would have y minus 6 is equal to negative 3x minus 6. Now we need to move the x's over to the left side. So the opposite of a minus 3x or a negative 3x is a plus 3x. So we'll add 3x to both sides. When we do that, we would have 3x plus y minus 6 is equal to a negative 6. So from here, we need to move all the constants over to the right side. When we do that, have to add 6 to both sides. So that cancels out. When we rewrite it, we have 3x plus y is equal to 0. And it's okay that 0 is the constant. So our final answer is 3x plus y is equal to 0. Now what we're going to do is we are given the point-slope form, and we are going to write the equation in the slope-intercept form. So remember, slope-intercept form must be y equals mx plus b. M is the slope, b is the y-intercept. So I will do the first one, and then you'll pause the video and you'll do the second one. So this first one, we're going to do the distributive property first. So when we do that, y minus 1 is equal to 4/5 x. Now, 4/5 times 5. 4/5 times 5, write that as 5 over 1. It's equal to 20 over 5, which is equal to 4. So 4/5 of 5 is equal to 4. Erase this real quick. Now, we need it as y by itself over to the left. So I need to move this 1 over to the right. So if we do that, I'll add 1 to both sides. So y is equal to 4/5 x plus 5. Now, we have our y by itself. We have our mx, 4/5 x. Then we have our b, which is our y-intercept. So this, right here, y is equal to 4/5 x plus 5 is the equation in slope-intercept form. So now what I want you to do is to pause the video, try this one by yourself, and then unpause the video when you're ready to see what I've done. Okay, so the very first thing, remember we have to do some of the distributive property. So if we rewrite it, we have y plus 6 is equal to a negative 3x. And think of this as negative 3 times a negative 4. So negative 3 times a negative 4 is a positive 12. Now, we need y by itself in slope-intercept form. So let's move this 6 over to the right. By doing that, remember we have to do the opposite. Subtract 6 from both sides. All we have on the left is y, and it's equal to negative 3x, and 12 minus 6 is a positive 6. So this is our final answer. Y is equal to negative 3x plus 6. So now this is just a quick time for review. Remember that the point slope form equation is y minus y1 is equal to m times the quantity of x minus x1. M is the slope. x1 and y1 are points on the graph that will be given to you. And the reason why we're doing this, point slope form is just another way to view a linear equation. This is just to get your mind thinking on different ways to view the linear equations.